this morning with Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breath. If you find that you're really stuffy, you can breathe normally instead, but maybe like find a seat, sit up really tall, close your eyes, and imagine breath coming in and out opposite sides. So at least there is some awareness of breath and some intention behind it. Normally we just breathe throughout the day involuntarily. A lot of adult humans aren't aware of their breath at all, and so if nothing else, we're starting to create that awareness. Okay, Nadi Shodhana. Bring your left hand back into your hip crease, Jnana Mudra. The thumb and index finger touch. The right hand, Vishnu Mudra, curl down your first two fingers just gently into the palm. We use the thumb to close the right nostril. Inhale through only the left side. At the top, close the left with your ring finger. Switch, exhale to the right. Inhale through the right, same side. Close the right with your thumb. Switch, exhale to the left. Again, inhale, same side. Close the left. Exhale, go back to the right. Inhale gently through the same. Exhale, then switch, go back to the other side. Inhaling, always through the same. And switching only with your exhales. Back and forth a few more rounds at your own pace. Soften the right shoulder down a little bit, away from your ear. And pull the low belly in some, then lift your heart up and sit up nice and tall. You'll relax the face. Maybe soften or even close the eyes. Then relax your jaw. Let the lips touch gently, but separate top and bottom row of teeth. Just a few rounds left. Begin to pull your attention inward, away from the external. So for just the next hour of practice, not worried about anxieties of the future or memories of the past, but focused only in this present moment on the things happening on your 2x6 foot mat. Just maybe one round left. There's no rush, but you'll just continue back and forth until the next time you get to your left side. That'll be the final exhale. Once you've completed that breath out, release both hands, breathe normally, and take a moment to maybe begin your practice with intention or dedication. You could set an intention that'll help you remain focused and mindful, something you can come back to throughout the course of practice. Or something I do a lot, you could dedicate the work of your practice to someone who needs it or something, but for whatever reason can't be here to do the practice on their own. We're going to begin together with the Maha Mrityunjay mantra, which is a mantra of healing. I'll upload a little short on that in the coming days. And it can be repeated anytime you're feeling less than peaceful. If you know the mantra, feel free to repeat it. You could even do it silently just to yourself. If you don't know it, you might listen and absorb those healing vibrations. We'll do the mantra and follow it with the sound of one Om all together. To begin, place the palms together, take a breath. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtevardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamritahatom. Take a breath in for an Om. Om. let's get moving. We're gonna roll forward first. Let's go to hands and knees, tabletop position. And actually, the first thing we're gonna do is a variation of anahatasana or melting heart. There's two ways to do this pose. If you have a couple blocks, great, or even like a couple of big hardcover books, you can use those. If not, I'll show you how to modify. And either way is really, really nice, so don't worry if you don't have the props. If you're using blocks, you set them up about your shoulders width apart, and then place your elbows to the very edge of the block, back up your knees, place the palms together, and drop the front of your head, drop the chest. This is a great place to be. It's actually kind of nice. It can also be really deep in the shoulder girdle. Now, if you don't have your blocks, what you're gonna do is go from hands and knees, tabletop position, then start to just walk the hands a little forward, lower your chest, and maybe place the chin. You could also place the top of your forehead down and breathe there. Take a few more moments, just a couple breaths left. Notice how your shoulders feel. You don't have to go too deep too quick because it's still early, but start to observe. Give it maybe one more breath, and then gently start to walk yourself back up to tabletop position. We'll meet there. If you have your blocks, go ahead and scoot those out of the way, and we'll do some cat-cow. It's the inhale, lower your belly, lift your chin. Feel like you're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, round your back, press the floor away, and shoulder blades pull apart while you tuck your tailbone. Inhale, lower the belly, lift your chin, look up. Exhale, then round, firmly pressing the floor away. Let's do a couple more, and if you want, you could turn your hands backwards. Feel free to do one at a time. If you know that rotation well and you know your wrists are stable, you could do both. If like there's injury there or pain there, I might do one at a time and move kind of slow. Not too much longer here. If you were working on your hands one at a time, go ahead and switch. Make sure that you do the other. You want to do them equally. Just give it one more breath. And then come on back to center, return to neutral position, tabletop, and we'll go to down dog. Let's tuck the toes, pick up your knees, reach the hips up and back. Spend just a couple moments here. Get into the backs of the legs. Press the floor away from you, lift your hips up. One last breath. Then as you exhale, bend your knees, pull the chest back, and inhale, step or hop the feet forward. You could even take multiple steps forward. Let's fold and hold opposite elbows. Let your torso dangle, 5 breaths. You'll maybe rock back and forth a little, or you could go side to side. If you're ready to, go a little deeper, fold with lots of strength. Hold the backs of your calves, pull your torso in. On the next inhale, come all the way up, touch the palms, lift your eye gaze. Exhale, come down to stand, Samastitihi. Bringing the toes to touch and the heels slightly apart, squeeze your legs and press firmly down through the feet. You'll draw the belly in a little, but lift your heart up, soften the shoulders, and prepare for Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach up the center line. Exhale, hinge at your hip crease. Fold, bend the knees a little, touch the chest to your thighs. Inhale, lift your heart, keep the hands down. Exhale, place your palms, step or hop back. Chaturanga, low push-up position. Inhale, up dog, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing, lift the hips. 5 breaths. For 4. 3. And 2. One breath. Then as you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, bring your feet to your hands, lift your heart, keep inhaling. Exhale and fold in. Inhale, come on up, extend your arms, touch the palms. Exhale, return, Samastitihi. And we'll go again, couple more. Inhale to reach, extend your arms. Exhale, hinge forward, squeeze the belly and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, pick up your heart. Exhale, place the hands, go back, chaturanga, low push-up position. Really good. Inhale, up dog, deep breath. Exhale, downward facing, lift the hips. Breathe there for 5. Add a little bit of a bend in your knees, especially if the backs of the legs are tighter, for 4. Then use gravity to create traction in the spine, which means push hard with your hands, lift your hips up high. For 3, squeeze your core a little, the muscles around your abdominals, so pull the belly in. Last 2. 1 breath. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop to your hands, lift your heart a little at the top. Fold firmly as you exhale, pulling in from the front body. Inhale, reach up, extend your arms, touch the palms. Exhale, return, Samastitihi. Really good work. We'll go again. It's the inhale, reach, arms extend. Exhale, hinge at the hip crease, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lift your heart. Exhale, place the hands, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing, lift your heart. And exhale, it's downward facing, we lift the hips. Breathing here, 5 deep breaths. Lift the muscles of Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor, for 4. Focus your drishti, your eye gaze, look toward the navel, for 3. The last 2. One breath. Then as you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. It's your inhale to step or hop towards your hands, lift your heart at the top. Exhale and fold in. Inhale, come on up, extend your arms up the center line. Exhale, return to stand. Last one. Inhale to reach, extend your arms. Exhale, hinge at the hip crease and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, place the hands, go back, Chaturanga, low push-up position. Inhale, up dog, deep breath. Exhale, downward facing. Lift your hips, reach up and back, breathe for 5. Remember, you can rest in your downward facing if you need a moment. Lower the knees, sit on your heels, last 4. Although often rest is necessary, or like a real rest, sometimes, comparatively with the other poses, down dog is the rest. And so as you practice consistently and often, it's not that the pose gets like magically easy. Rather, you gain resilience, you gain strength and awareness of your own body. Almost there. If you know you're about to hop forward, think about lifting your hips up over your shoulders while you're in the air. On your next exhale, you'll bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or hop to your hands and lift your heart a little, halfway up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way up the center line, touch the palms. Exhale and return, Samastitihi. Really good work. Little pause, take just a sec. Then we go to Surya Namaskar B, which adds a couple of poses, including everyone's favorite, Utkatasana, chair pose. So, inhale, bend your knees, reach up, it's Utkatasana. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lift your heart. Exhale, place the hands, step, step, or hop back, Chaturanga low push-up. Inhale, up dog, lift your heart. Exhale, down dog. Same exhale, bring the right foot a big step forward, back heel down. Inhale, reach, touch the palms, warrior one. Exhale, return. Place your hands, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, lift up. Exhale, down dog, left. Same exhale, step the left forward. Inhale, reach up, back heel is down. Exhale, return, place your hands, go back, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale, deep breath. Down dog, exhale, lift your hips. Breathe for 5 or rest as needed. Three breaths. 4, 2. One breath. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, feet to your hands. Lift your heart at the top. Exhale, then fold in. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, extend your arms. Exhale, return to stand. 2 more. Inhale, Utkatasana. Bend your knees, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hip crease, fold, really good. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place your hands, step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, lift up. Exhale, down dog, right side leads. Big step forward with the right, spin the back heel down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, then return. Place your hands, step back, chaturanga, low push-up. Really good. Up dog gets the inhale. Exhale, it's back to down dog. Left, big step forward, left side, back heel down. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, return. Place the hands, go back, chaturanga, low push-up. Good. Up dog gets your inhale. Exhale, up and back. It's downward facing. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And so hold your down dog just a few breaths. And remember, if while you're working, especially in Surya Namaskar, when you're doing chaturanga, it's a super foundational pose. It's important for the rest of the practice. And so when you go back, especially if you're in the stage of building strength for the posture, instead of like falling down to the belly or not going all the way down with your elbows, place the knees gently, take the chest a little forward, zip up the belly, pull your navel in, then bend your elbows and hover the chest. The knees will support you. Then over time, we lift with just the strength of the arms and the core, and the knees no longer have to stay down, just a little bit longer. Every stage of the practice is really important, whether you're at stage 1 or 1,000. Okay, one last breath. And then on your exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or hop to your hands. Lift your heart a little. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, chair pose, bend your knees, extend your arms. Exhale and return to stand, Samastitihi, back where you started. We're gonna go again, it's the last one. Inhale, chair pose, bend your knees, reach up, pull the hips back. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Really good. Inhale, lift your heart a little, halfway up. Exhale, place your hands firmly, step or hop back, lower your knees if you need support. Good, inhale, up dog, lift your heart. Exhale, down dog, right side leads. Big step forward with your right, back heel spins down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, return. Place your hands, step back, chaturanga, remember, support if needed. Good, up dog, inhale, deep breath. Exhale, down dog, left. Big step forward, last time. Spin the back heel down, reach as you inhale. Exhale and return. Place your hands, step back and lower down. Really good, up dog gets the breath in. Exhale, up and back, downward facing. We lift the hips, breathe for 5. Looks really nice. For 4, For 3, remember pull in the navel, pick up your lowest ribs. For 2, look so good, you're doing great. 1 last breath. Then as you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or hop to your hands. Lift your heart a little. Exhale, then fold, squeeze the belly. Good, inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees a lot. Reach up and lift your eye gaze. Exhale, return to stand, Samasthiti. And done. Take a second, like fix your hair or fix your shirt, give yourself a moment. And we're gonna do a couple forward bends. We'll start at the top of the mat with Padangusthasana. And so place your hands on your hips, catching the waist, elbows pull back. Separate your feet hips width apart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, then fold in. Measure the distance between the feet. They should be 2 fist width apart. Yogi toe lock, first 2 fingers, catch the big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Breathe there for 5. Roll the shoulders back away from the ears. Pull your elbows back to the sides. For 4. Pull the belly in, Uddiyana Bandha. Lift the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. For 3. Two breaths. 1. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pause. Repeat the toe lock or Padahastasana. Slide your hands under. Stretch out your thumbs to measure your alignment. Make sure they graze. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold in. Breathe for 5. For 4. For 3. 2 breaths. And 1. On your inhale, lift your heart a little bit, then release your hands, scoot them out from underneath your feet. We're gonna go back to Chaturanga, but if you'd like an opportunity for an arm balance, here it is, Bakasana Crow Pose. We'll use that to transition backward to low push-up position. Send your knees to the backs of your triceps. If you're just starting the pose, put your shins on the backs of your triceps. Place your hands, look forward, lean into the arms, pick up one, and if that goes well, pick up both. Squeeze your belly a lot, press firmly with your fingertips. Take a breath in. Then as you exhale, step or shoot the feet back. Chaturanga, upward facing and back to downward facing. Hold your down dog, take a sec. We're gonna begin our standing poses with Warrior One, just like you did in Sun Salutation. So first bring your right foot a big step forward to the top of the mat. Spin the back heel down and then start to make your way up for Warrior One. So take your time. The right foot is forward, the left leg is all the way back. Check your toes behind you, make sure your toes face forward. Then, instead of straight right knee, bend your right knee a lot. Good, then pull your hips back in space. If you're ready, reach up. Just a couple breaths left. Take another breath in. And then on your exhale, let's open to the side, Virabhadrasana B, Warrior Two. So the hips go really low as we go deeply into that right leg. You want to sink your quad so it's parallel with the mat, which means you have to bend your knee a lot so your quad feels a little bit like fire, maybe even inner thigh. Just a couple breaths left there. Good, look forward at your right hand, specifically right middle finger nail bed. Last 2. Tuck your right hip underneath yourself, then push hard with your left foot all the way behind you. 1 breath. Then as you exhale, we're gonna take Utthita Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. And so there's a few ways to approach that. Either place your right forearm on your thigh, then reach the left arm over. Then if that goes okay, go deeper. Grab a block, place that outside your right foot. Then reach over. If that's still easy, right hand to the mat, left arm across. Breathe for 3. Don't let your hip go out to the side. Pull your hip back in space. 4, 2, press firmly along the back foot. And 1. Exhale, look down, place your hands. Spin your back heel up, step back, vinyasa, or rest a moment if you need. If you need rest, lower your knees, child's pose. Good, otherwise, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Really good work. Left side. Let's bring the left foot a big step forward. Prepare for Virabhadrasana A, Warrior 1. And so you want to check the heels, heel to heel alignment. Good, turn the back toes forward at a heavy angle. Come on up, take your time. If you're ready, reach up, extend your arms. If your shoulders are really tight, which I've been there, you hook your thumbs, right? Palms open, then reach up, biceps back. If that's easier, interlace the fingers, extend your index finger, then up. If that's going really well, that's when you touch the palms. Couple breaths left. 1 breath. And then on your exhale, let's open to the side. Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. So in Warrior 2, everything kind of changes. The left leg's gonna stay the same, but this back foot goes from forward to out. We open the outside edge of the foot and that changes your hip. Go deeply into the left, arms extend, look forward. Good, breathe for 4. For 3. Last 2. And 1. As you exhale, side angle, so maybe you go forearm to your left thigh, then reach over. If that's okay, use your block. And if it's still fine, then you go all the way down to the mat. Looks good. Breathe there for just a little bit longer. Tuck your left hip under a lot. Then feel your right lung. Roll that up toward the ceiling. Last 2. Press down with your right foot all the way behind you. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, look down, place your hands, spin your back heel up, step back. Take vinyasa, or you can take a little rest if you need a second. Give yourself a moment once you make your way to down dog. We're gonna do, well, we have a little work to do in the shoulders and the core. Even online, yes, we still do it. If you have your camera on, great, so I can see that you're doing the pose, not like eating a snack. We're gonna do dolphin pose and maybe work from there with a little bit of like shoulder awareness. So dolphin pose, it's the setup for forearm balance, which we're not gonna do right this second, but maybe eventually. To set up for dolphin, you can go from down dog, or if you need, lower your knees first. Then we place the forearms on the mat, measure, hold opposite elbows, making sure your shoulder stays over your elbow. And then place the hands forward. If your shoulders are tighter, the thumbs can come in a little closer so that your arms make almost a triangle shape. If your shoulders feel great and they're more open, then arms parallel with each other. Okay, tuck your toes, pick your hips up, walk the feet in close till your hamstrings are like feeling that. Now keep looking forward, hold here, or if you're able, exhale nose toward thumbs, inhale, pick it up. For 3, exhale, go down, inhale, pick it up. Exhale and go down, good. Maybe one more, we'll do 4. Exhale, go down, and inhale, lift up. Really good. Then lower your knees, sit on your heels, get the weight out of your arms, take a moment. Those are short, we only do a few, but they're effective, especially if you're working on getting your forearm balance, Pincha Mayurasana. Okay, broken toe pose, your favorite. So separate your knees about the width of the mat, tuck your toes under yourself, but keep your big toes touching each other. Reach back, make sure all 10 toes are tucked under, use your hands to help you do that. Now we hold here. This is often enough. If it goes well, walk back. 4 breaths left. If it's really easy, go all the way back, put your forearms on the mat. If you're starting to see stars and your toes are really breaking, it's okay to come out early. Almost there. You want your big toes to stay together, eventually heels stay together. Go ahead and take one more breath. And then to come out, you're gonna place your hands in front of you, flip your feet so the tops of the feet are down, bring the inner thighs close together again, sit on your heels, we'll do ankle stretch to counter. So place your hands either on your knees or hands on the floor beside you. Lean back a little bit, pop the knees up gently, breathe for 5. Ankle stretch is the opposite rotation of broken toe, so you might like this way better. Last 4. If you want, put your hands on your knees. 4, 3. And 1. Go ahead and lower your knees, place your hands, walk it back out toward down dog, come on up, lift your hips, take a second there. Broken toe, sorry in advance for that one. Okay, we're gonna work next a little bit with high lunge. So bring the right foot a big step forward, scoot your left foot back in space, come on up, climb yourself to your knee. Good, if that goes okay, hands at your hips, your heart. If you're ready, keeping the hands together, reach up. Last 4. Pull your right hip backwards in space, send the left hip forward. The pelvis moves clockwise. For 3. Don't let your knee fall, pick up the back of the left. For 2. And 1. Send your chest forward a little and hover over the right leg. Flip to the top of your left foot, kind of like ankle stretch. Then lean forward, pick up the left leg, warrior 3. You can bring your arms by your sides if you'd like, or to the floor for a second for support, but try not to rely on that. Last 3. For 2. 1, inhale, come up to stand, lift your chest. Keep the left leg, bring it in with you. Breathe for 5. For 4, if it's going okay, bend your right knee a lot, cross the left over. Oop, whoops. Eagle legs. Bend your right knee a whole bunch, wrap the left toes all the way around. If that's okay, match the arms. To come out, return to stand, lift your chest, unravel the legs, step the left all the way back, place the hands, step back. Vinyasa, or a little rest if you need a moment. Really good work. Okay, everybody's still with me. Great job. Those are really hard poses, working in the stabilizing muscles. We're gonna do the left next. So as you're ready, high lunge, bring your left foot all the way forward. Beautiful. Climb yourself up, no rush. Three breaths left. If you're ready, reach up, arms are extended. Good, last 2. One more breath, pick up the back of the right kneecap. Then as you exhale, send your chest forward and hover over your left. Good, flip to the top of the right foot, so the top of your toes are on the floor. Lean forward into your left leg and pick up the right. Little by little, you can go kind of slow. And if it goes well, maybe reach back. Last few breaths. If you fall out, try again right away. Don't waste any time feeling bad about falling, because that's part of it. If you're not falling, then if you never fall, then maybe you're not taking a risk. Maybe you're not trusting yourself. Part of the reason we try these challenging poses that have the risk of falling is so that we can learn to stand on our own 2 feet. Okay, From warrior three, we're gonna bring the right leg in, so lift your chest to stand, bend the right knee, pull that close. Stay here, this is enough often, but if it's going okay, eagle legs. Bend your left knee a lot, cross the right leg all the way over. Good, breathe, maybe match your arms. Looks really good. If you fall, don't worry about it, try again. Couple breaths. Don't hold your breath, then you'll definitely fall. Take one more breath in. And then to come out, we're gonna come out with control. So lift your chest, bring the right knee with you. Then lean forward, send the right leg all the way back. From there, place your hands, step back, vinyasa, or a little rest if you need a second. If you do need the rest, try not to get too comfortable. You stay for a moment and then prepare to work again. So nice, really good work. Okay, we're coming through to seated. So bend your knees, look forward, step or hop through, have a seat and extend your legs, take them straight out in front of you. Good. We're going to begin with Dandasana, which is seated staff pose. It's kind of like, think seated Samastitihi, the muscles are engaged and working. Place your palms by your sit bones, then press firmly away from you. Don't let the shoulders pop up, instead push them down, away from the ears. Tuck your chin, lift your chest, belly in. Good, breathe for 4. That's it, squeeze your core, squeeze your legs a lot. For 3, 2, 1, exhale, release, relax. Paschimottanasana, our first seated forward bend variation. If you know the different variations of your hands, you can go there, yogi's choice. If you don't know hand variations here, then use the toe lock, which you did earlier. Hook the big toes, bend your knees. Inhale, pull the belly and lift up. Exhale, fold. Breathe there for 5, keeping your knees bent as much as needed so that your lungs and your belly touch the tops of your thighs. Last 3. For 2. And 1. As you inhale, lift your heart and return to seated. All the way back up, take a little pause. Janu Sirsasana comes next, or half lotus. If you have a really comfortable Padmasana, you can take your half lotus here. We'll start with the right side. Janu Sirsasana, bend the right knee, make sure your knee's closed. Then drop it out to the side with your heel touching its own inner thigh. Curl the left toes back towards you. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, fold in, breathe for 5. Really good. If you're doing your lotus, feel free to add the bind, reach the right arm back, hold the right foot. Last 4. For 3, see if you can keep lengthening the spine so that when you're folding, instead of rounding and folding that way, you sit up, hinge from the hip crease, lengthen the spine. You'll wait for your next inhale. When that comes, lift your chest. Return to seated. Let's twist to the right. So sit up nice and tall. Send the left hand to your right knee and right hand all the way behind you. 5 breaths there. It's a pretty open twist, so keep lifting your chest. Feel your right lung, pull that back. Last 4. For 3. 2 breaths. And 1. Exhale and return to center, back to where you started. Let's add the lateral bend, kind of opening the side body. So it's okay to open the angle of your legs a little bit, totally fine. And then you can use your left hand to hold the right heel or to reach forward. Reach your right arm up a lot, go over your ear, And then at an angle toward the left. Breathe there for 5. Try to roll your heart to the ceiling. And if this doesn't happen, if the contact from right hand to left foot doesn't go, don't worry about that. Instead of trying to force it, just keep rolling your heart up, up, up. Then over time, we go all the way over. Just a breath or 2 left. Then to come out, go ahead and look down, roll yourself back to center before you come all the way out. Release that, and let's take a vinyasa. So send the legs in front of you first, then cross your ankles, pull the knees in close, hands go forward. You can shoot the legs back or step, step. Chaturanga, up dog, inhale, exhale, down dog. Now we return to seated. Bend the knees, come on through. Extend your legs. Okay, left side, Janusirsasana or half lotus. Extend the right leg straight, bend your left knee, drop that out to the side. Heel to inner thigh. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale and fold. If you're doing your lotus, left comes in. Maybe take the bind. Last 2. And 1. Inhale, come on up, lift your chest. Then let's take a twist, we'll go left. So keeping the right leg exactly where it is, right hand goes to the left knee, left hand goes back. Breathe for 5. For 4. 3. 4, 2, 1. Exhale, return to center. Release your twist, take a little pause. Maybe kind of extend the angle of the legs, inner thighs. You can open them a little bit. We're gonna add that lateral variation, the kind of side body bend. Right hand could hold your left heel or walk a little forward. Then start to reach your left arm up a lot, really high. Then as you're ready, go over a bit, maybe toward the right. Breathing for 3. 4, 2 deep breaths. And 1. To come out, go slow. You might look down first, roll your chest back to center, then when you're ready, release the pose. Let's take the vinyasa, cross your ankles, walk your hands forward, send the feet back. Great work. Chaturanga, up dog and down dog. Vinyasa is important. If you have extra energy, if you feel good, take the vinyasa. If maybe your ego or what your limiting beliefs are telling you that you can't do it anyway. Sometimes you have to do it when you're tired or do it when you're afraid, and that's what builds resilience. Okay, come on back through, have a seat, and we're gonna work a little bit with Marichyasana A, and then maybe some deeper forward bends. We might look at Gomugasana. So bend your right knee for Marichi A, pull the knee in close to the chest. Take your shoulders inside. You can hold the left, maybe even like bend your knee and hold. That's okay. You don't really want to use a strap to pull because we're trying to fold from the hip crease. If you know your bind, take the bind. Go around the right leg. However, you can use a strap to emulate the full bind. Right? Couple breaths there. Last 3. For 2. One more breath. And then on your own inhale, come on up, return to seated, lift your chest. Release your arms if you've got them. We're gonna step the right leg over and work a little bit with Ardha Gomukhasana. And so you're bringing the right foot to the outside of the left sit bone. Good, and sometimes that's like, looks more like this, which would be okay as long as there's no pain in your knee. Now, if your knees feel the brunt of the pose, grab like a beach towel or a couch pillow, or if you have a yoga blanket, grab that, sit on it, put it under your sit bones. And then we're folding forward, breathe for 5. Props are your friends. There's like a lot of schools of yoga that don't really allow props or maybe like kind of frown upon them because the idea there is that you're supposed to be able to do the pose by yourself, but that's not the case for everybody. And if you have like certain injuries or if you have pain in an area of the body, you don't have to push through that pain. Instead, use a prop to help you like find the proper shape for your own body today. Almost there. Okay, come on up with your inhale, lift your chest a little bit. We're gonna do the full, so we're adding the left leg. Now remember, you can grab anything, get kind of creative with your props. Grab anything for under your sit bones that gives you some cushion. Lean back a little bit, bend your left knee, pull that heel in close. If you gotta come all the way out to do that, that's okay. That would be something more like releasing the legs, slide the left leg under first, then step the right over. That works perfectly fine as well. Sometimes it's tough to go into the pose from where you just were. Now you might use something in front of you. If you've got a block, you can do that. If you have no block, it's okay too. You can sit up and like really focus on lifting your chest. Then as that gets better, you take the chest forward, walk your hands forward. If this is easy and you feel nothing, then scoot your shins further forward. Over time, shins parallel with the top of the mat. Good. Maybe one day my little knee will go down. Maybe not. Let's just hold a couple breaths more. Try to soften the shoulders, relax your jaw. And then to come out, start to walk yourself back up to seated. Lean back on your hands, release your legs, and let's take the vinyasa. If you need a little rest, you can take that too. Gomukhasana can be a lot. I'm gonna take the vinyasa because it's just so necessary to move after getting into the hips like that. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And it's your exhale, we come up and back. Now we're just doing those 3, we'll do the left. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, come on through. Marichyasana A, left side. Bend your left knee, pull it in close. Take the shoulders inside. Good, and then if you know you're blind, there's a thumbs up rule. We talk about it all the time. Thumbs up, rotate your shoulder till the thumb is up again-ish, then bend your elbow. Good. We fold there. Only 4 breaths left. As you're folding, keep your right sit bone grounded, but it's okay if your left pops up. The left leg is essentially in a squat here, squatting position. Last couple. Okay, on your inhale, come on up, return to seated. Let's do Ardha Gomukhasana, and so the legs are gonna go straight out. Then we're taking the left all the way over. Hold your left foot. If you can do it without holding, totally fine, just like pull it in. My hamstrings are more like they're a little tighter than that. So I'm gonna use my hand to help me pull that foot back. No pain or straining in your knee. You don't wanna like feel the knee joint. And so if you do, it's okay to come out. A little bit or a lot. Use a prop if you'd like and fold. Last 4. Sometimes for me, it's enough to just like tuck my chin. The whole body's connected. So if you're tucking your chin, you're gonna lengthen the cervical spine. It adds stress in the thoracic spine, and that's the same thing as a forward bend. Well, ish. Almost there. All right, come on up, lift your chest, and then prepare for the full variation of the pose. So we're gonna add the right leg. If you need, come all the way out, but if you can, lean back a little bit, bend the right knee, and pull that heel back. Now it's okay if your top knee pops up, but try to look at your heels, get them equal distance from the edges of your sit bones either side. You can like visually measure or measure with your hands. Good, and then we're folding. You might tuck the chin. You might fold a little deeper. You can of course scoot the shins further forward. This side's a little tighter for me, which is funny because it used to be the right. Just a little longer. Try to listen to your breath. It can be tough, like being still when even you're in the studio, in the practice room, but sometimes it's even tougher at home, where the things that stress you out might be, where your responsibilities are so present. And so if you get really distracted while you're being still, maybe you're thinking of your to-do list or whatever it is, try to just bring your attention back to what's going on, like right here, right now, this present moment. That's where all of your power is. There's nothing that you can do about the future, and there's nothing that you can change about the past. And so focusing where you are lets you like truly take hold or take control of your own potential. There's not that much else that we can control, maybe nothing. Okay, to come out, go ahead and walk yourself up slow, take your time, release the legs, little vinyasa, or a little bit of like rest if you need a second. Sometimes it's the knees that bother us in Gomukhasana. If that's the case, you could do these little windshield wipers, one side to the other, just some subtle, gentle movement. Good. Again, I like the vinyasa, I recommend the vinyasa. It's a good way to train the body and train the mind. Now, once you've made your way to your downward facing dog, go ahead and lower your knees, sit back on your heels, take one moment. Good. We're going to do a couple of back bends. Next, we're getting into Ustrasana, which is camel pose, and we're gonna do 3 of them, maybe 4 of them if you feel really good. I'm gonna give you guys an option. To start, you can use your block or not. If you know the technique with the block, go there. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. You can still totally do the pose. You're gonna come up to a kneeling position and prepare by catching the waist and then kind of adding this like little tilt through the pelvis. You'll squeeze the legs a lot, maybe even squeeze your glutes. Roll the shoulders down and back. Press your hips forward, lift your heart up. Breathe for 5. For 4, if you're ready, you can drop back for your feet. Just go both hands at the same time. You might even tuck your toes. Now when you come out, catch the waist again first. If you have your hands back, hold your hips first, then tuck your chin. Sit back on your heels, let your head hang. Good. Okay, let's do 2 more. So come on back up to a kneeling position. Prepare. Catch the waist, take a breath. Then as you exhale, press your hips forward, lift your heart up. If you're ready, drop the hands back. Now to come out, catch the waist, tuck your chin, hips pull back, sit on the heels, round your spine. Good. It's our 3rd and final variation. It can be the same as the first 2, or if you went too deep too quickly, it's okay to come out a little bit. Maybe just come up, see how you feel. Okay, Ustrasana camel pose, come on up to the knees. Good, press the hips and pelvis forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, start to drop your head back. If you drop your head back and you get dizzy, keep the chin either pointed up toward the ceiling or look forward a little. Last 4. Squeeze your legs a lot, keep pushing your hips forward. So nice for 3. Last 2. 1, catch the waist, tuck your chin, pull the hips back, sit on your heels, round your spine a little, let your head hang, or child's pose. You can take the child's pose if you need a second, always okay, really. Good. After camel or after any deeper back bends, sometimes a little forward bend is necessary. Your low back will let you know. Good. Okay, inversion is next. We're gonna get upside down for a little bit. Headstand, shoulder stand, or legs up. We have just a short period of time, about 2 minutes. If you're like dying to work on your forearm balance here and you know it well, you can do that maybe instead of holding your long inversion. And so headstand, Sasana A position. Feel free, if you're newer to it, you can go to your wall, right? If you're getting really comfortable at the wall, time to start moving away. Now, you want to measure always, even like, I don't know, I've been doing this pose maybe 10 years, and, or maybe not, maybe closer to like 7, because it took me a few years to get it. Even still, I will measure the distance between elbow and shoulder every single time I do it, because the alignment of the pose is important. Sometimes when you're tired or you're fatigued, or even if your shoulders feel more open than normal, if your alignment's off, you can create injury. So I always measure. Shoulder over elbow, hands go forward, interlace fingers, but the palms open. Crown of your head into the basket, tuck the toes, walk the feet in close. I start usually by going here, one knee pulls in, then a little hop. Well, not really a hop anymore, but here's 1 through 4. A little bit longer, really only like maybe 5-7 breaths, not too much left. If you're doing headstand, one thing you have to pay attention to, everybody with hair longer than like ear length, you have to pay attention to getting your hair stuck in your hands. That's a fact. Now remember, if you're doing legs up, you can always add a little bit of a back bend to the pose, which can be nice if you're, if there is like any compression in your low back, or if back bending is a major challenge for you. This is a way to get a little bit of that shape in kind of a more supportive manner. And so if you're in your legs up, you have a block or even like a really firm pillow close by. You lift the legs, slide something right underneath your sacrum, this like harder part of your low back where your hip bones crest, like the highest part of your hip bone, and then we go here. Just a nice little slope of the lumbar and thoracic spine. Give it about 2 more breaths. And then gently begin to release the pose, and we'll take rest. Our final pose is Shavasana, it's corpse pose. So we're resting for a couple of minutes. If you have to go, that's okay, but Shavasana is very important. And so try to carve out time to rest intentionally. Resting without sleeping, right? So it's not the same thing as resting at night. Resting because not only have you worked really hard in your practice and earned it, but also because whether you earn it or not, it's necessary to help balance and ease the nervous system. Take your time, finding your way down to your mat. Let your arms fall out at your sides and relax the legs. Begin to feel the body as a whole, from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. So over the face, the front of the throat, shoulders, torso, your lungs and your rib cage, your belly, your thighs and hips, the lower legs, and then the toes, the feet. Each individual tip of the toe, one by one. Then just feel the body relaxed and so heavy, comfortable. No tension and no straining. Just letting go of your practice and allowing yourself to rest easily for the next couple minutes, feeling peaceful and feeling so content, unconcerned with anything outside of this moment, outside of your space. Prepare yourselves gently to come out, allowing for some deeper breath and subtle movement. When you're ready, you'll curl into yourself, roll over to rest on the right side of the body, just spending a moment there and noticing the way that your arms cradle your head and your torso, the same arms that reach out to help you achieve your goals and to hold your loved ones. Notice the way that your legs fit together perfectly, the same legs that carry you through your practice and your daily life. Recognize that you were made sacredly, so perfect and whole and complete to fit yourself before fitting or adhering to others. A moment of gratitude for the form, the body, the home in which you live that houses your spirit. And then when you're ready to come out, press down, return to seated, comfortable seat, however you'd like. We'll take a moment to reaffirm your intention or dedication of your practice, maybe restating something you began with and just holding that close to the heart center. We'll close together with the sound of an Om. If you'd like to join, place the palms together in front of the chest. Take a breath in through your nose. Thank you for practicing today.